Vancouver is one of the wettest cities on Earth. Yet when it comes to drinking water, there's a crisis on the horizon. And the proposed solutions are kind of wild, like a giant straw, pipes you can drive through, maybe even a new source lake. Stick with me. Let's start by understanding the existing drinking water system. I'm standing in front of one of them. This is Capilano Lake, one of 3 reservoirs on the North Shore Mountains that catch the runoff from 60,000 hectares of protected land. That means no hiking, no camping, no human footprints. We locked down these watersheds a century ago to act as pristine catchment basins for Capilano, Seymour, and Coquitlam reservoirs. These giant holding lakes, if you will, provide the water to 3 million people. That's about half of BC's entire population. The genius of this system is the altitude. The mountains do the heavy lifting, using gravity as the primary delivery method. So massive pumping stations and massive amounts of electricity are not needed, just pipes guiding the flow down to your glass. It's a perfect passive system. For now.
We're very lucky with the system we have, but the system has its limitations. And when the reservoirs are full, they're full and they need to last us throughout the summer.
Which brings us to conflict number 1, climate change. This whole system works because the snow we get in the mountains in the winter slowly melts through the spring and summer, keeping our reservoirs full when demand is the highest. I've looked at the projections for Metro Vancouver snow. By the 2050s, the average winter snowpack is expected to decrease by almost 60%. By the 2080s, that number is closer to 80%. We're already losing winter snow as the season shifts, getting more of our snow as rain. And we're seeing glimpses of what that looks like when we get to the bottom of our lakes too early. Tighter restrictions. 2026 is the earliest Metro Vancouver has introduced Stage 2 water restrictions on record. Basically, no lawn watering until the fall.
And so we know we provide a billion litres in winter, so 1 billion litres. It's the size of BC Place if you fill it up every day in winter. But in summer, that increases by 50%.
So how do we get more water when we need it? The first wild plan is the giant straw. By the mid-2030s, Metro Vancouver is launching a second water intake at Coquitlam Lake to double its water withdrawal. The water is already there, it's just physically out of reach of our current pipes. We're tunneling a brand new, lower intake to grab that cold, high-quality water from the depths. Think of it like sticking a longer straw in your bubble tea to get the last few pearls at the bottom of the cup.
So Coquitlam Lake currently provides drinking water to about 1/3 of the region. And with the upgrade, eventually it's going to be able to provide more than half of the region. It's a very big lake. It's also very deep. The deepest part is actually below sea level.
But even if we have all the water we need, we have to move it. And we live in a major seismic zone. Conflict number 2. Our water has to travel under massive bodies of water, like the Burrard Inlet, to get to your tap. I've done a deep dive into the liquefaction hazard maps, and the big concern here is that during a large earthquake, the ground, especially near the riverbanks, turn to jello. So if a main pipe snaps 30 meters below the water, you can't just send a scuba diver down to patch it. We could be dry for weeks. About 75% of our primary pipes have been upgraded to seismic resilient joints, designed to bend and stretch, like this one, rather than snap if the earth cracks.
Correct. This pipe here is 3.2 meters in diameter, so yes, you could drive a small car through there. It's challenging in the sense that, we do have to make sure that the pipes are the right size, right material, and it's going to be able to withstand these large earthquakes that, we're one day going to see, unfortunately, right?
But engineering can't solve everything if our habits don't change. And that leads us to conflict number 3, rising demand. We're adding 35,000 new neighbors every year. Based on forecasted demand and population growth, the region will likely need additional water storage by the mid-2030s if relying solely on the current system's capabilities. But it turns out Vancouver also just straight up uses a lot of water.
The Vancouver region are the highest per capita water users in the country. So, you know, it's not a table we want to be first on, I think. So it's definitely a two-pronged approach. It's let's all use less and let's plan for the second intake at Coquitlam so we can access more of the high-quality source water that we have in this region.
Even with the longer straw and the bendy pipes, the math still doesn't quite add up for the next century. Metro Vancouver is evaluating 7 mega projects to get us through to 2120. We're talking about entirely new source lakes outside our current map, like Harrison Lake or Pitt Lake. Lakes, by the way, that haven't already been earmarked for BC Hydro use in the future. We're also talking about raising the Seymour Falls Dam by 53 meters. And these are engineering hurdles on unceded territories. Altering these waterways requires decades of engagement with local First Nations. Our 100-year survival equation is a race. Move water from mountains that are losing snow across an earthquake fault line to a sprawling city with a growing number of taps. But Metro Vancouver has planned for 100 years before, so they're betting billions that we can out-engineer the clock.